Imagine this. You're sitting comfortably in your favorite chair, the sunlight gently filtering through the window. The house is peaceful, and for the first time in what feels like forever, you simply listen to the soft ticking of the clock and the rustling of the leaves outside. It's in this quiet moment that a thought quietly arises. Am I really taking care of myself like I should? As the years pass, life naturally slows down. It's a time when we often pause and reflect on the journey we've taken. Maybe you've asked yourself, what should I do to stay happy in my later years? Or, how do I find peace within when everything around me is constantly changing? These are questions that live in the hearts of many, yet their answers often seem elusive. Think about it for a moment. You've spent decades caring for others, your children, your family, your friends. But then as time goes by, we often reach a point in life where we realize we've neglected one important person, ourselves. We're left feeling lost, unsure of how to nurture our own well-being. It's a reality many of us share. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to stay that way. Buddhism offers a refreshing perspective. Aging isn't something to fear. It's something to embrace. It's a time to turn inward, to cultivate wisdom, and to seek true peace. But how do we do that? How can we transform what could be a time of loneliness and regret into one of joy and fulfillment? Welcome to Insightful Journey, where ancient teachings meet modern life. In this video, we'll dive deep into powerful Buddhist principles that can help you care for yourself in your later years, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. These insights aren't just about changing the way you view aging. They'll show you how to live a life filled with purpose and contentment. Before we begin, we need your support. Our channel has many viewers, but only a small percentage have subscribed. If you find value in these teachings, please like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe. Your support helps us spread these invaluable insights to more people. And don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Self-care in old age isn't just about staying physically healthy. It's about finding inner peace, releasing burdens, and fully embracing the present. Stick with us as we uncover simple yet profound ways to nurture ourselves in every aspect of life. What's coming next might just change the way you see aging forever. As we journey through life, we must eventually come to terms with one profound truth: the impermanence of all things. It's a concept deeply rooted in Buddhism, and though it's an essential part of life, it's something many of us struggle to accept. Life is in constant flux. The seasons change, our bodies grow older, and even our thoughts and emotions shift over time. But how often do we stop to truly reflect on this? How often do we really acknowledge that everything, our relationships, our possessions, even our very selves, is temporary? Imagine looking at a flower in full bloom. Its petals are vibrant, reaching for the sky. It's alive with beauty. Now picture that same flower a few days later, its petals starting to wilt, its vibrant color fading. Was it any less beautiful when it was in full bloom? Of course not. Its beauty was always there, even as it began to change. This is how our lives unfold. The most joyful moments, the ones that bring us peace and happiness, will eventually pass. And that's okay. It's simply the nature of life. Buddha, the great teacher, often spoke of impermanence. He said everything is in a constant state of change. From the moment we're born, change is inevitable. We grow, we learn, we age, we experience loss, and we experience gain. Yet so often we fight against this truth. We wish we could freeze time, hold on to moments, keep things from shifting. But in doing so, we only create suffering for ourselves. What if instead of resisting change, we learned to embrace it? What if we let go of the need to control everything and simply allowed ourselves to flow with the rhythms of life? The key to finding peace in our later years is not to fear impermanence, but to embrace it. In fact, when we do, we can begin to live more fully. We stop clinging to the past, to things we cannot change, and start focusing on the present moment. We find beauty in life's fleeting nature, in the small joys that each moment offers. Think back to the times when you were happiest, those moments when you were truly present, whether it was taking a walk in the park, laughing with a loved one, or simply feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin. In those moments, you weren't worried about the future or the past. You were just there. And that's the gift of impermanence. It reminds us that life is precious, precisely because it is fleeting. When we accept that everything is temporary, we become less attached to the idea of permanence. We start cherishing the present moment, knowing it will never come again. As we age, the impermanence of life becomes even more apparent. Our bodies change, our energy wanes, and the things we once took for granted begin to fade. But this doesn't mean we've lost anything. In fact, we gain wisdom. We gain a deeper understanding of life's true nature, and with that understanding comes a deeper peace. There's a saying in Buddhism, when you let go of what you are, you become what you might be. This is the essence of embracing impermanence. It's about releasing the need to control every aspect of life and allowing ourselves to evolve with time. By accepting that everything is temporary, we free ourselves from the fear of loss. We begin to live with an open heart. In old age, many fear the changes in their bodies and minds, losing physical strength, fading memories, or the passing of loved ones. But these changes are not something to fear. They are part of the natural cycle of life. When we truly understand impermanence, we can accept these changes as part of our journey. We can find peace, knowing that each stage of life carries its own beauty and value. Buddhism speaks of the three marks of existence: impermanence, suffering, and non-self. By understanding these, we can live more fully, with less attachment and greater peace. Impermanence, the first step to true peace. Imagine a moment when you suddenly realize everything changes. The people we love grow older, our bodies change, and the world around us is never the same. This constant ebb and flow can be unsettling, but it's also the key to finding lasting peace. Understanding impermanence is the first step toward embracing life as it is, not as we want it to be. When we accept that nothing lasts forever, we also begin to understand something profound: our attachments to people, possessions, and even our very identities are fleeting. We're not defined by our bodies, our material things, or our past. We are beings in constant flux, navigating life as it unfolds. Impermanence is not something to fear, but something to embrace. It's the freedom to let go of the things that hold us down, the freedom to live more fully in the present. We don't need to cling to the past, nor should we obsess over the future. All we truly have is the here and now. And when we embrace the now, we find peace. As you reflect on your life, ask yourself, how have I been holding on to things that are fleeting? How can I let go and accept the impermanence of life? When we do this, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. We allow ourselves to be present, to enjoy each moment for what it is, without the fear of it slipping away. The truth of impermanence doesn't weigh us down. Instead, it lifts us up. It's a reminder that life is precious because it's temporary. Every moment offers us an opportunity to experience beauty, to learn, to grow, and to love. As we grow older, we can use this wisdom to find peace in the natural changes that come with age. We don't need to fight time. Instead, we can flow with it, appreciating each phase of life as it comes. And in the end, when we look back on our lives, we'll find that the moments we cherished the most were the ones that unfolded naturally, the fleeting moments of beauty, the small gestures of kindness, the quiet moments of reflection. These are the things that give life its true meaning. The art of letting go, releasing attachments as we move deeper into life. There's one universal truth we can't escape. Everything changes, people grow older, our bodies shift, and even the world around us is in constant motion. Yet despite this reality, many of us continue to hold on tightly to things that no longer serve us, whether it's old habits, regrets, or fears about the future. But here's a powerful truth we must all learn. Attachment is the root of suffering. It is only when we release these attachments that we can find true peace. You might be thinking, how can I let go of everything I've built my life around? These things are my security. Let's take a moment to reflect on that. In our younger years, we build lives around careers, relationships, possessions, and even our identities. We believe these things define us, but the reality is they are all temporary. Think about it. The house you live in, the job you do, the people you love, nothing is permanent. When we cling too tightly to these things, we create unnecessary pain for ourselves. Now picture a tree standing tall through the seasons. During the fall, its leaves change color and eventually fall to the ground. If the tree held on to those leaves, it would be weighed down, unable to grow. But because it lets go, it's free to bloom again in the spring. We too must learn the art of letting go, shedding the unnecessary weight that keeps us rooted in the past and prevents us from living fully in the present. Letting go is not about abandoning the things we care about. It's about finding balance, enjoying what we love, without being controlled by it. It's about understanding that we don't truly own anything, not the people we love, not the possessions we collect, not even our own bodies. Everything is impermanent, and when we accept that, we free ourselves from the constant fear of loss. In Buddhism, attachment is called tanha, the craving to possess, to control, and to hold on to what is fleeting. This craving creates a cycle of suffering, where we are never fully content because we are always chasing something we can never fully possess. But when we learn to let go, we break free from that cycle. We begin to experience life as it truly is, beautiful, fleeting, and filled with moments we can appreciate without clinging to them. Letting go with love. A deeper kind of connection. Letting go does not mean we stop caring about the people in our lives. Far from it. In fact, when we stop clinging to them, we are able to love them more deeply. We are no longer trapped by the fear of losing them. Instead, we can appreciate them for who they are, not as possessions, but as fellow travelers on this journey called life. This kind of love is not possessive. It's not about trying to control or change others. It's about allowing them the freedom to be themselves while still sharing moments of joy, love, and connection. Similarly, letting go of material possessions doesn't mean we stop enjoying life's comforts. We can still cherish the things that bring us joy, a cozy home, a favorite book, or a treasured photograph. But we must not become attached to them. When we release the need to own or control, we can experience the world without the fear of losing what we hold dear. we understand that we are not defined by what we own, but by our ability to enjoy those things without becoming attached to them. Embracing the present, finding peace in the process of aging. As we grow older, the process of letting go becomes even more crucial. Our bodies may not be as strong as they once were, and we may face limitations we didn't expect. The future may feel uncertain, and we might find ourselves mourning the passage of time. But in those moments of sorrow, there is also an opportunity for growth. The more we are able to release our attachment to our youth, our health, and even the people we once relied on, the more we open ourselves up to the beauty of the present moment. One of the greatest lessons of aging is learning to accept what is, without resistance. It's easy to wish things were different, longing for the days when life felt simpler, when we were stronger, healthier, and younger. But this only leads to dissatisfaction. We cannot change the past, and we cannot control the future. All we have is the present moment, and when we embrace it fully, without clinging to what was or what might be, we find peace. Buddhism teaches us that the key to overcoming suffering is not to fight against it, but to accept it with compassion and understanding. In our later years, this lesson becomes even more vital. We may face physical decline, loss of loved ones, or even the awareness of our own mortality. But instead of clinging to the idea of a perfect, unchanging life, we can choose to embrace the changes with an open heart. In doing so, we discover the deep peace that comes from truly living in the present, embracing the impermanence of life, finding peace in the flow of time. We all face the inevitable truth of impermanence. The reality is, everything changes: people, possessions, our very selves. But here's the beautiful part. We can learn to embrace this constant cycle. We can find peace in knowing that everything, including us, has its time. Just as the seasons change, so too do we. And in that change, there's beauty. As we let go of attachment, whether it's to our past, our possessions, or even our identities, we create space for something greater: wisdom. The more we release the need to control, the more clearly we begin to see life. We understand that every experience, whether joyful or painful, is an opportunity for growth. Letting go opens us up to deeper self-awareness and a clearer understanding of the world around us. Consider the simple, fleeting moments in life: the warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of laughter, the peace of a quiet evening. These are the moments that truly bring us happiness. So how do we begin the process of letting go? It starts with awareness. We must first recognize the things to which we are attached: beliefs, people, possessions, and ideas. Ask yourself, what would happen if I let go of this? Sometimes the answer will come easily, and other times it may be more difficult. But each time we practice letting go, we become more at peace with ourselves and the world around us. Letting go isn't an overnight process, but with patience and practice, it becomes easier. In the end, letting go is not about giving up on life. It's about freeing ourselves from the burden of attachment so we can experience life fully. It's about living with an open heart and mind, knowing that every moment is a gift, and nothing is permanent. When we embrace the art of letting go, we are no longer weighed down by the past or consumed by the future. We can simply be present in the here and now, and in that moment, we find freedom. Mindfulness, the key to inner peace. In our later years, as we grow older, life can sometimes feel like it's moving slower or even overwhelming. The weight of memories, the demands of daily life, and the challenges of aging can cloud our sense of peace. But there's a simple, powerful tool that can help us regain balance, focus, and calm. Mindfulness. Imagine this. You're sitting by the window, watching the sun set, casting its soft golden light over everything. You notice the light dancing on the leaves of the tree, the way the shadows stretch and change as the day fades into night. But more than that, you feel something deeper. You become aware of the chair beneath you, the quiet hum of the world outside, and the rhythm of your breath flowing in and out. This is mindfulness. It's the act of being fully aware of the present moment, without judgment or distraction. It's about embracing the now, letting go of worries about the past and anxieties about the future, and finding peace in the present. As we age, it's easy to get caught up in the past, reliving moments of joy, regret, or missed opportunities, or to be overwhelmed by worries about the future. But the key to inner peace, especially in our later years, is breaking free from that cycle. Mindfulness is the practice of paying full attention to what's happening in the present moment. It's not just about sitting in meditation. It's about being present in everything you do, whether it's enjoying a cup of tea, walking in nature, or talking to a loved one. How mindfulness helps us as we age so. How does mindfulness help us as we age? When we practice mindfulness, we stop reacting automatically to life's challenges. Instead of being swept away by frustration, pain, or fear, we learn to observe these emotions without becoming consumed by them. For instance, if you're feeling discomfort or sadness, mindfulness allows you to simply notice that feeling, acknowledge it, and let it pass without letting it control you. This practice of mindful observation helps us accept our experiences, whatever they may be, with grace. Aging brings inevitable change, health issues, loss of loved ones, and sometimes a sense of isolation. Mindfulness teaches us not to resist these experiences, but to embrace them with compassion and understanding, knowing they are part of life's natural flow. One of the most profound ways mindfulness helps is by enabling us to see things as they truly are, not as we imagine them to be. How often do we misinterpret situations based on fear or old habits? How many times have we let our thoughts spiral, creating unnecessary stress or anxiety? Through mindfulness, we can step back from our thoughts, seeing them with clarity. We stop believing everything our mind tells us, realizing that our thoughts are just that, thoughts. They come and go, and they do not define us. This realization is liberating. It allows us to cultivate a deep sense of peace and stillness amidst life's chaos. In the context of aging, it frees us from the pressures we've placed on ourselves. We no longer feel the need to prove anything or chase after things that no longer serve us. Instead, we learn to appreciate what we have in the present moment, our health, our family, our experiences, and become grateful for them. Mindfulness in daily life. Connecting to the present moment. Mindfulness isn't just about quiet moments of reflection. It's about bringing awareness into every aspect of your daily life. When you go for a walk, can you feel the earth beneath your feet? Can you hear your breath as you move? When you sit down to eat, are you savoring each bite or rushing through the meal without truly tasting it? These are all opportunities to practice mindfulness in your daily life. When we live mindfully, we become more connected to ourselves and the world around us. We start to notice the beauty in the smallest things, the color of the sky, the warmth of the sun on our skin, the laughter of children in the distance. These moments, which we might have once overlooked, now become sources of joy and contentment. Mindfulness and self-compassion embracing ourselves with kindness. Mindfulness also helps us develop a deeper sense of compassion, not only for others but for ourselves. As we age, it's easy to be hard on ourselves, feeling like we've missed opportunities or made mistakes. But mindfulness teaches us to treat ourselves with kindness. We learn to forgive ourselves for the past and focus on the present. We acknowledge our limitations without judgment and start to care for ourselves with a greater sense of love and acceptance. Mindfulness and the art of letting go, embracing the impermanence of life. Buddhism teaches us that suffering arises from attachment and desire. We cling to things, our youth, our health, or the people we love, because we fear losing them. But when we practice mindfulness, we begin to understand a profound truth. Nothing in life is permanent. Everything is constantly changing. Rather than this realization creating fear, it brings a sense of peace. We no longer need to hold on so tightly. Instead, we can let things be as they are and accept the natural ebb and flow of life with grace. As we age, mindfulness helps us appreciate the time we have left. It encourages us to focus on what truly matters, to savor the moments we often take for granted. Instead of worrying about how much time we have, mindfulness invites us to experience each moment fully, knowing that every breath is a gift. Mindfulness also helps us foster deeper connections with others. As we grow older, our relationships may change, and we may experience moments of loneliness. But mindfulness teaches us how to be fully present with those around us. It encourages us to listen deeply, speak with intention, and create meaningful connections. In the end, mindfulness is about being awake to life as it unfolds. It's about embracing each moment as it comes, with open eyes and a compassionate heart. It's about finding peace, not in the absence of challenges, but in our ability to face them with calm and clarity. As you continue on your journey through old age, remember this: mindfulness is always available to you. You can practice it in any moment, no matter where you are or what you're doing. With each mindful breath, you open the door to greater peace, joy, and freedom. And as you walk through that door, you'll find that the world becomes a little brighter, a little kinder, and a little more beautiful, just as you are. The power of compassion, caring for yourself with kindness. As we grow older, we often feel the weight of the years, both physically and emotionally. Our bodies slow down, and our minds sometimes wander to places of worry or regret. But in these moments, there's one powerful tool we often forget to use: compassion. Not just for others, but for ourselves. Imagine you are a gardener, gently tending to a delicate plant. You water it, give it sunlight, and care for it patiently, knowing it needs time and tenderness. You wouldn't demand the plant to grow faster than it can. Instead, you nurture it with love, understanding its needs and pace. Now think of yourself as that plant. You too are delicate and in need of kindness and patience. Why then do we so often forget to treat ourselves with the same gentleness? Buddhism teaches that compassion, or metta, is the cornerstone of a peaceful life. But this compassion isn't just for others. It must start with ourselves. It's easy to give love and understanding to those we care for. But when it comes to ourselves, we tend to forget. We're hard on ourselves, expecting too much, criticizing ourselves for our weaknesses or for the things we can no longer do. But this is not the path to true peace. Compassion begins with understanding. It's okay to feel tired, to experience pain, and to acknowledge the limitations that come with aging. Aging is not a flaw. It's a natural process of life, a part of the cycle. instead of fighting it? Why not embrace it? Recognize that it's okay to not be what you once were, and that you are still worthy of love and care, no matter your age or circumstances. Metta, loving kindness for yourself. In Buddhism, there is a concept called metta, which translates to loving kindness. This is a form of compassion where we not only wish happiness and peace for others, but also extend that wish to ourselves. It's about looking at yourself with the same loving eyes you use to look at those you care for. When you begin to practice metta, you'll notice a shift in how you treat yourself. Instead of self-criticism or judgment, you will cultivate a deep sense of acceptance and care. Imagine starting each day with the intention to be kind to yourself. Instead of waking up with thoughts of what you should do or what you haven't done, start with a simple thought. I am enough. I deserve kindness and peace today. This small shift in thinking can make a world of difference. Just like a gardener tends to their plant with patience and love, you can tend to yourself gently, with care and tenderness. Compassion doesn't mean ignoring your flaws or pretending everything is perfect. It means acknowledging your imperfections with understanding and seeing them as part of your humanity. When you feel pain, whether physical, emotional, or mental, compassion is the act of sitting with that pain without judgment, without pushing it away, and without making it worse. It's about offering yourself the space to simply be. Compassion for aging, embracing your worth. One of the greatest challenges we face in old age is the tendency to focus on what we can no longer do. We may look back on the past with nostalgia, remembering the energy, the mobility, and the independence we once had. But instead of lamenting what is gone, compassion invites us to look at what is still present. Yes, perhaps your body has changed. Maybe you no longer move as quickly or freely, but do you not still have a beautiful heart, a wealth of experience, wisdom, and love to share? These things are irreplaceable. They deserve your compassion. It's easy to become frustrated with the limitations of aging. It's easy to feel isolated or forgotten. But compassion reminds us that even in our limitations, there is beauty. In slowing down, we have the opportunity to appreciate the present moment in a way we couldn't before. When you take the time to care for yourself, when you tend to yourself with the same kindness you would show a dear friend, you will find a deep sense of peace. Aging may come with challenges, but it also brings opportunities for self-compassion, reflection, and growth. And in that, there is true beauty. The power of self-compassion, nurturing your body and soul. When you treat yourself with kindness, it creates space for gratitude. You begin to notice the small joys, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of laughter in the distance, the quiet peace of a room at rest. These simple pleasures become more meaningful when you approach them with a compassionate heart. You may ask, how do I practice compassion for myself when I feel so lost or overwhelmed? It starts with small steps. Begin by recognizing your own needs. When you're tired, rest. When you feel anxious, take a few deep breaths. When your body aches, treat it gently. Listen to what your body is telling you. Don't push through the discomfort. Instead, acknowledge it, care for it, and be gentle. Sometimes, we forget that self-compassion also means forgiving ourselves. We hold on to past mistakes, regrets, or things we wish we had done differently. But as we grow older, we come to understand that forgiveness is freedom. Holding on to guilt or shame only weighs us down, making it harder to experience peace. To forgive yourself is to set yourself free from the burden of the past, allowing you to embrace the present with an open heart. Every day is an opportunity to practice compassion. When you make a mistake, be kind to yourself. When your body needs rest, honor that need. When you feel sad or lonely, acknowledge those feelings with love instead of judgment. Remember, you are human, and being human means being vulnerable. Compassion allows you to be vulnerable without fear, knowing that you are worthy of care, even in your imperfection. In the end, the greatest gift you can give yourself is love. The kind of love that doesn't expect anything in return, the kind that simply exists because you are. By practicing compassion, you not only bring peace to your own heart, but also find that your relationships with others deepen. When you are kind to yourself, you create space for others to be kind to you, and in turn, you can extend that compassion to those around you, creating a cycle of love and care that enriches all of life. Let this be your practice today. Begin with compassion. Treat yourself with kindness, gentleness, and love. You deserve it. As you continue to practice, you'll find that it's not just your body that flourishes, but your heart and soul as well. Aging becomes a beautiful part of life's journey when we approach it with the kindness and patience it deserves, the sacredness of the body, honoring the vessel of the soul. As we grow older, our bodies change. They slow down, they ache, and they remind us of their impermanence. But even though our physical bodies may not be as strong as they once were, they remain a temple for the soul. Our bodies are the vessel that carries us through this world, and they deserve our respect and care. In Buddhism, there's a deep understanding that our bodies, though impermanent, are sacred. Caring for the body is an act of caring for the mind and spirit. In our busy younger years, many of us focus on external achievements, work, family, responsibilities, but as time passes, we realize that what truly matters is how we care for ourselves, both inside and out. It's easy to forget that our body needs attention and love, just like our mind and heart. Physical well-being in old age isn't about striving for perfection or trying to look young again. It's about nurturing the body with kindness, respecting its limitations, and celebrating its wisdom. The body has carried us through so much, and now is the time to be gentle with it, listening to its needs and giving it the care it requires. Mindful practices for physical well-being. There are many ways to nourish the body, but the most important is through mindfulness. When we eat, we must eat with full attention, savoring each bite and feeling the nourishment it provides. In Buddhism, this is called mindful eating. It's not just about what we eat, but how we eat. The food we consume nourishes not only the body but also the mind. If we eat in a rush or distracted, we miss the full experience. If we eat with gratitude, we honor the nourishment we receive. Exercise is another vital part of physical well-being. As we age, exercise doesn't need to be intense or strenuous. Simple movements can be just as powerful as intense workouts. Yoga, stretching, walking, all of these practices can help keep the body flexible, strong, and calm the mind. In Buddhism, we speak of balance in life, in actions, and in the body. Exercise, when done mindfully, can be a form of meditation. The simple act of walking, paying attention to each step, breathing deeply, feeling the ground beneath you, can bring a deep sense of peace. The importance of rest, caring for body and mind rest, is equally important. In Buddhism, we understand that rest is not a luxury. It's a necessity. The body needs time to recover, repair, and regenerate. Without enough rest, we become exhausted, irritable, and our health suffers. Rest allows the body to heal itself, the mind to quiet, and us to connect with a deeper sense of peace. It is essential to honor the body's need for sleep and relaxation, especially as we age. Letting go of attachment to the body. Beyond physical practices like eating, moving, and resting, there's also the need to let go of attachment to the body itself. Buddhism reminds us that everything is impermanent. Our bodies, like everything else, are not permanent. The more we cling to the idea of youth or physical perfection, the more we set ourselves up for suffering. When we accept the natural changes that come with aging, we free ourselves from the fear and anxiety of what might happen next. Letting go of the illusion of control over our bodies allows us to focus on loving and caring for them as they are. This acceptance allows us to cultivate a deep sense of gratitude for the body we have. It has carried us through so much, and it will continue to carry us if we care for it properly. The body as a sacred vessel. By practicing mindfulness in all aspects of our physical well-being, we can learn to honor the body as a sacred vessel. We can be gentle with it, understanding its limitations while appreciating its incredible strength. Buddhism holds the body in deep reverence as a temple for the soul. It is not just a physical form. It is the means by which we experience life, connect with the world around us, and express love, joy, and compassion. As we age, the body may slow down, but it remains a precious gift. We must treat it with the care and respect it deserves. Caring for the body is not just about avoiding illness or staying fit. It's about fostering a deep sense of connection to our own being. The body, mind, and soul are interconnected. When we care for our body, we care for our mind and spirit as well. So as you move through your days, remember to be kind to your body, move with mindfulness, eat with gratitude, rest with intention, and honor the temple that carries you through this life. For it is through this vessel that you experience the beauty of the world and the joy of being alive. In this, you will find peace, not just in your body, but in your heart and mind as well. True physical well-being is not a destination, but a continuous practice. Embrace it with mindfulness and compassion, and it will lead you to a place of deep peace and contentment. Emotional resilience, finding joy in simplicity as we age. Aging is a journey, and as we walk this path, we can learn to navigate it with grace, gratitude, and compassion for ourselves. Our bodies may change, but they remain a precious part of who we are. By caring for them, we are caring for our souls. When we speak of emotional resilience, we're not referring to a strength that comes overnight or through force. Emotional resilience is a quiet, gentle strength that emerges when we understand the natural flow of life. As we age, we encounter more than our fair share of changes, loss, disappointment, and the passage of time, which takes away what we once held dear. Yet it's through these very challenges that emotional resilience can truly flourish. As a Zen master, I often reflect on how we, as human beings, tend to hold on to our emotions, believing they define us. We experience joy, but we also carry sorrow, fear, and regret, each emotion interwoven with the others. What we often forget is that these emotions, while powerful, are temporary. They come and go like the seasons. If we allow them, they will teach us the art of letting go. In the journey of aging, we learn that there is beauty in simplicity. There's a lesson in the quiet moments, the ones that appear after the noise of the world has faded away. The simplicity of sitting in the sun, watching the clouds drift by, can bring a kind of peace that many of us overlooked in our younger years. But now, in old age, this simplicity becomes our refuge. It is in these moments that we begin to understand that joy does not always come from external sources. It comes from within. The power of emotional resilience, embracing the present. When we are emotionally resilient, we aren't unaffected by life's ups and downs. Instead, we develop a deep capacity to endure, to feel fully, and to let go. This doesn't mean ignoring our emotions or burying them. It means learning not to let them control us. We learn to sit with our feelings, acknowledge them, and let them flow without becoming overwhelmed. Just as the waves of the ocean rise and fall, our emotions do the same. As we age, it's natural to reflect on the past, on decisions we've made, moments we've lost, or relationships that have faded. It's easy to fall into the trap of regret, wishing we could have done things differently, or longing for a past we can never get back. But emotional resilience teaches us to embrace the present and accept what is, rather than dwell on what could have been. It encourages us to find peace in the now. One of the greatest gifts of aging is the perspective we gain. The things that once seemed urgent or distressing now appear small in the grand scheme of life. We begin to prioritize what truly matters: our health, our relationships, and our inner peace. Through this process, we discover that joy is often found not in grand accomplishments, but in simple, everyday moments. Have you ever noticed how children can find joy in the simplest things? A stick becomes a sword. A puddle becomes an adventure. As we grow older, we tend to lose that sense of wonder. But the key to emotional resilience in old age lies in rediscovering this simple joy, the joy of being fully present and appreciating what we have in front of us. Whether it's a quiet evening at home, a conversation with a loved one, or a peaceful walk in nature, these are the moments where true happiness resides. True happiness, finding peace in the present moment. It's easy to think that happiness comes from external achievements, wealth, success, recognition. But as we grow older, we realize that these things, though they may bring temporary pleasure, do not bring lasting peace. True happiness is found when we let go of the need for more and simply appreciate what is already here. It's in the quiet acceptance of life as it is, without the constant striving for something different. Emotional resilience is not about suppressing negative emotions or pretending to be happy all the time. It's about being honest with ourselves and others about how we feel. It's about allowing ourselves to grieve when necessary, to experience sadness, and to let go of old wounds. But it's also about recognizing that these emotions do not define us. We are not our sadness, our anger, or our fear. We are the space that allows these emotions to come and go, like clouds in the sky, embracing change. The Zen approach to emotional resilience. In the practice of Zen, we learn to embrace what is without judgment. When we sit in meditation, we are taught to observe our thoughts and emotions without attaching to them. We let them rise and fall like waves in the ocean, knowing that they are part of life's natural rhythm. This practice can be applied to our emotional lives as well. By observing our feelings without judgment, we free ourselves from the grip of negativity and find the space to simply be. As we age, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that we are too old to change, or that our emotional patterns are fixed. But the truth is, we are never too old to learn new ways of being. Emotional resilience is a skill that can be cultivated at any age. It requires patience, practice, and a willingness to face our emotions honestly. With time, we begin to see that we have the ability to transform our relationship with ourselves and the world around us. The Zen approach to life teaches us to be present with whatever arises. We don't need to chase happiness or avoid pain. We simply need to be with whatever comes with full acceptance. This approach doesn't just bring emotional resilience, it brings peace. And as we grow older, this peace becomes more and more important in the face of life's inevitable challenges. Forgiveness, the key to emotional freedom. One of the most profound lessons of emotional resilience is learning to forgive. As we age, we may carry old grudges or unresolved conflicts that weigh heavily on our hearts. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning what was done wrong, but it does mean releasing ourselves from the burden of anger and resentment. When we forgive, we free ourselves to experience the joy that comes from living in the present, without the chains of the past holding us back. Embracing peace in old age. The true gift of emotional resilience. Life in old age doesn't have to be a period of loss and sorrow. It can be a time of great emotional growth, a time when we learn to find peace, joy, and contentment in the simplest of things. Emotional resilience teaches us that we are not defined by our struggles or setbacks. We are defined by our ability to rise, to learn, and to continue on the path with grace and acceptance. In this way, old age becomes a time of deepening wisdom, where we can live with a heart open to whatever comes. We learn to smile at life's challenges, knowing that they too are temporary. In this acceptance we find true joy, the joy that comes from within, independent of external circumstances. Emotional resilience is the key to finding peace as we grow older. It's the ability to find joy in simplicity, to let go of what no longer serves us, and to embrace the present with open arms. This is the path to a fulfilling and meaningful life. The wisdom of solitude, finding peace in your own company. As we age, there's an invaluable opportunity to embrace the wisdom of solitude. In our busy world, we often forget how essential solitude is. Our days are filled with noise, distractions, and endless tasks, an attempt to avoid being alone with our own thoughts. But as the years pass, solitude becomes a gift, a chance to reflect, reconnect, and rediscover the deeper parts of ourselves. Why is solitude so important? And how can we learn to embrace it in a way that nurtures our well-being? Imagine sitting quietly in a room. The only sound is the gentle whisper of your breath. It's just you. No distractions, no obligations, no voices, pulling you in different directions. At first, this might feel uncomfortable, maybe even unsettling. You might feel the urge to fill the silence with something, anything, just to escape the stillness. But if you sit with it long enough, something profound happens. You begin to realize this is where peace lives. Solitude is not loneliness. Loneliness is a sense of disconnection, a yearning for something outside yourself to fill a void. Solitude, on the other hand, is the embrace of your own presence. It's the space where you can hear your own thoughts clearly, without the noise of the outside world drowning them out. It's where you can reconnect with who you truly are, beyond the roles you've played or the labels you've carried throughout your life. In Buddhism, the practice of solitude is seen as a path to enlightenment. It is through stillness and introspection that we begin to understand the nature of our minds. When we are constantly surrounded by others, we are often pulled in many directions, our attention scattered. But when we are alone, we turn inward, exploring the depths of our own consciousness. This is not isolation, it's a deeper connection, a connection to ourselves. The gift of solitude. In old age, this practice of solitude becomes even more important. You may find that the busyness of life has slowed down. Children have grown up, moved away, and started families of their own. Friends may be scattered or absorbed in their own lives. You may find yourself alone more often than you'd like. But rather than seeing this as a loss, consider it an opportunity. It's an opportunity to cultivate inner peace, to reconnect with your spirit, and to reflect on the life you've lived and the lessons you've learned. For many, old age brings a sense of nostalgia, a longing for the past. We may yearn for the days when we were surrounded by loved ones, when we felt needed, and when life seemed full of purpose. But in solitude, we can find a deeper, more lasting sense of purpose. This purpose is not dependent on external circumstances or the approval of others. It is the purpose that comes from within, from knowing that we are enough, just as we are. Learning to enjoy your own company is a practice, just like any other. It requires patience and acceptance. At first, solitude might feel awkward or uncomfortable. You may sense a kind of emptiness, as if something is missing. But that emptiness is not a void. It is space. It is the space for you to fill with your own wisdom, your own reflection, your own peace. Over time, you will come to appreciate it as a source of strength rather than sadness. True, freedom in solitude, the power of acceptance. In solitude, there is no one to impress, no one to judge you. It is just you and your thoughts, and this is where true freedom lies. You are free to be yourself without the pressure of society's expectations. You are free to explore your feelings, your memories, and your desires. You can reconnect with your past in a way that allows you to let go of unresolved pain, to forgive yourself, and to accept who you are now. There is no need for pretense or performance. There is only honesty, vulnerability, and acceptance. In Buddhism, we are taught to observe our thoughts without attachment. When we are alone, we can practice this observation. We can sit with our thoughts, not judging them or trying to change them, but simply watching them come and go. This practice allows us to see our minds clearly. We begin to understand that our thoughts are not who we are. They are passing phenomena like clouds in the sky. We are the sky, vast, open, and unchanging. This is the beauty of solitude. It helps us realize that we are not defined by our thoughts, by our past, or by our circumstances. We are simply beings of consciousness, capable of peace, love, and joy in every moment. We do not need external validation to feel complete. Solitude teaches us that the peace we seek is already within us, self-discovery. In solitude, embracing the present moment. As you age, the opportunity for solitude becomes more frequent. With it comes the opportunity for self-discovery. The more time you spend in your own company, the more you begin to understand yourself. You start to see the patterns of your thoughts, your behaviors, and your desires. You can observe them without judgment, and over time, you'll find that many of these patterns no longer hold power over you. You will begin to live more freely, more authentically, and more peacefully. There's no need to fear being alone. It is not a sign of failure or loneliness. It is a sign of strength. It is a sign that you are comfortable enough with yourself to embrace the stillness. You are no longer seeking validation from others. You are seeking validation from within. And that is the most powerful form of self-care you can give yourself. When we learn to embrace solitude, we also learn to embrace the present moment. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to become lost in the past or the future, always striving for what's next or regretting what's been left behind. But in solitude, we are reminded to be present, to accept life as it is, and to appreciate the simple beauty of the now. The peace of solitude. Solitude is a powerful teacher. It is not about being isolated or disconnected. It is about finding connection to yourself, to the present moment, and to the deeper truths within. Solitude helps us find peace within, without the need for external validation. It is in these quiet moments that we truly hear the wisdom of our hearts. As we age, let us not fear solitude, but embrace it. For in doing so, we find a deeper sense of purpose, joy, and peace. A peace that comes from within and is not reliant on anyone or anything outside of ourselves. Solitude becomes a path to self-acceptance, wisdom, and freedom, guiding us toward a more meaningful and fulfilling life. The wisdom of solitude. Embracing the present moment as we age, we often find ourselves reflecting on the things we've done, the mistakes we've made, or the paths we wish we had taken. We worry about what lies ahead, uncertain of the future and whether we'll be able to face it. But when we are alone, we are forced to face the present. There's no escaping it, and it's in this present moment that we find peace. We find freedom. Solitude is a space for gratitude. In those quiet moments, you can reflect on the blessings in your life, both big and small. You can appreciate the simple things, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of birds singing outside, or the feeling of your breath as it flows in and out. These moments often go unnoticed in the busyness of daily life. But in solitude, you can savor them. You can find joy in the present moment without the need for anything more. Finally, remember that you are never truly alone. In the stillness of solitude, you are connected to everything: the earth, the sky, the people you love, and even those who have passed. In Buddhism, we believe in the interconnectedness of all things. No one is ever truly isolated because we are all part of a greater whole. Solitude, then, becomes a way of deepening your connection to this greater whole. It becomes a way of tapping into the wisdom and peace that lie within you and within all beings. As you age, embrace solitude as a sacred space for reflection and growth. It is not something to fear, but something to cherish. In solitude, you can find clarity, peace, and a deeper understanding of yourself. And in this understanding, you will discover a profound joy, one that is not dependent on the outside world, but on the peace that already exists within you. Building meaningful connections. The role of community. As we grow older, there may be times when we feel a sense of isolation. It's not that we don't love our family or friends, but sometimes the world changes so quickly around us that we feel left behind, out of sync with the fast-moving pace of society. It's easy to feel as though we are drifting or no longer part of the conversation. But the truth is, even in our later years, we have the ability to create and nurture meaningful relationships that give our lives purpose and depth. Building connections is not just vital to our happiness, it is essential for our well-being. In our younger years, we were often busy with work, raising children, and managing daily responsibilities. But now, as time slows down, there's an opportunity to refocus on relationships. The people you meet now can be just as significant as those you met in your younger days, and sometimes even more so. Why? Because as we age, we begin to understand the depth and richness that real connections bring. We seek out people who align with our values, who truly listen, who respect our experiences, and who offer love and companionship in return. At the core of this lies a simple truth. Human beings are social creatures. We thrive in communities, and no matter how old we get, we still need deep, genuine connections to feel whole. The interdependence of all things Buddhism teaches us the importance of interdependence, that we are all connected and that our happiness is tied to the happiness of others. When we reach out and invest in others, we are not only helping them, but we are helping ourselves. We fill the spaces within us that loneliness tries to occupy, nourishing our need for companionship, belonging, and understanding. You might ask, but how do I create these connections? How do I find meaningful relationships when life seems quieter and opportunities seem fewer? The answer lies in presence. Mindfulness is key. By being present in each moment, you open yourself to those around you in a way that invites authentic connection. Instead of focusing on the past or worrying about the future, you simply allow yourself to be with those who are right in front of you. You listen more deeply, speak kindlier, and offer more compassion. Community isn't always about being surrounded by a large group of people. It's about quality over quantity. You may find that a single friend or a small group of like-minded individuals can offer more joy than a crowd ever could. These are the people who accept you as you are, who appreciate your wisdom and experiences, and who make you feel seen and valued. The power of small acts of kindness. Whether it's a neighbor who brings over a warm meal, a friend who calls just to check in, or a group of people who share in your hobbies or spiritual practice, these connections are the lifeblood of our emotional well-being. And don't be afraid to reach out. Many people feel the same sense of loneliness or isolation, but they too may be waiting for someone to extend a hand. It's not just about receiving love and support. It's about giving it. Buddhism encourages us to practice metta, loving kindness, toward others. This means offering goodwill, warmth, and compassion to all beings, including those who may not be close to us. Even small acts of kindness, a smile, a gentle word, a helping hand, can create bonds that last. The gift of forgiveness in building connections. In old age, we have the opportunity to reflect on what truly matters in our relationships. It's not about the number of friends we have, but the depth of our connection with those around us. It's about understanding that our lives are enriched not just by what we have, but by who we share it with. Sometimes we spend so much time in our own thoughts, focusing on what we lack, that we forget to notice the people who are already around us, ready to share in our joys and sorrows. Another important aspect of building meaningful connections is the ability to forgive. Over time, we all experience misunderstandings, hurt feelings, and disagreements. But holding on to grudges or past wounds only creates more separation. Forgiveness is not just a gift for others. It is a gift to ourselves. It frees us from the weight of resentment and creates space for healing and new connections to form. The depth of connection in aging. As we grow older, it's natural to reflect on the relationships we've built, the connections that have enriched our lives. While solitude offers us deep self-reflection, community allows us to experience joy and meaning in the shared bonds of friendship, family, and compassion. By embracing presence, practicing mindfulness, and offering acts of kindness, we can cultivate relationships that enrich us and those around us. Ultimately, building meaningful connections, whether through family, friends, or community, nurtures our emotional well-being and brings profound peace and fulfillment into our lives. The path to happiness. Building meaningful relationships. In later years, Buddhism teaches that the path to happiness is not a solitary one. It is a path that thrives on compassion, empathy, and shared experiences. As we grow older, we begin to recognize that the essence of life is not in accumulating possessions or accolades, but in the relationships we build and the love we both give and receive. Our community becomes our family, our support system, and our teachers. The more we open our hearts to others, the more connected we feel to the world around us. In this connection, we find a deep sense of peace. When we are surrounded by people who genuinely care for us, who accept us, flaws and all, we are reminded that we are not alone, and in that reminder, we find freedom. In old age, we may no longer be able to do everything we once did, but we can still build and nurture the most important part of our lives, relationships that matter. As we age, we often become more selective about the people we spend our time with. We begin to recognize that not every person is meant to be part of our journey. It's okay to let go of relationships that no longer serve us or bring us peace. This is an important part of self-care, surrounding ourselves with those who truly uplift us, who support our growth, and who share in our vision of living a peaceful and meaningful life. In the end, building meaningful connections in our later years isn't about adding more names to a contact list. It's about creating genuine bonds with those who resonate with our soul. Whether through shared interests, spiritual practices, or simple moments of kindness, these relationships will nourish us in ways we never imagined. They remind us that we are never truly alone, and that our lives are rich with love, connection, and shared experience. So as you reflect on your life and relationships, remember that it's never too late to build the community you need. There is always room for more love, more understanding, and more connection. The more you open your heart, the more you will find the people who will walk alongside you, sharing in your journey. Gratitude and contentment, the path to a fulfilling life. In the quiet moments of life, when the busyness of the world fades away, we can truly understand the depth of gratitude. Imagine for a moment looking back on the years you've lived. Each day, filled with both joys and challenges, has shaped who you are today. In those reflections, how often do you pause to give thanks for the small things? How often do you find contentment in what you have, rather than longing for what you don't? As we age, the tendency to reflect on missed opportunities or dreams left unfulfilled can grow stronger. It's easy to focus on what we don't have or wish could have been different. But in this search for what's missing, we often overlook the richness of the present moment. Buddhism teaches us to live fully in the present, appreciating everything as it is. This is the true essence of gratitude, being able to see the beauty in the simplicity of life, the ordinary moments that, when gathered together, form a life well lived. Gratitude isn't just about being thankful for the big events or milestones. It's about recognizing the small everyday blessings that often go unnoticed. A warm cup of tea in the morning, the sound of birds outside your window, a smile from a friend, or the comfort of your own home. These simple things are what make life worth living, and yet they are often the very things we take for granted. In Buddhism, contentment is closely linked with gratitude. It is the practice of being satisfied with what is, of accepting life exactly as it unfolds. This doesn't mean we stop striving or growing, but rather that we let go of constant dissatisfaction. It means we stop comparing ourselves to others, or measuring our worth by what we don't have. Instead, we begin to see the abundance in what we already possess. Imagine waking up every day and feeling content with what you have, instead of focusing on the things you wish you had more of. You begin to appreciate the treasures you already hold. This contentment isn't about settling for less or giving up on your desires. It's about recognizing that what you have now is enough, reflecting on your journey, a life filled with love and peace. It's never too late to start caring for yourself and to begin this journey toward inner peace and fulfillment. As we close this chapter together, I invite you to reflect on everything we've discussed. Think about the ways you can incorporate these teachings into your daily life. Ask yourself, how can I bring more mindfulness into my life? How can I let go of attachments that no longer serve me? How can I care for myself with the same compassion I show to others? The answers to these questions are within you. They are not something you need to search for outside of yourself. They're already there, waiting to be discovered. Thank you for being part of this journey with us. As you move forward, remember that your journey is your own. It is unique and precious. Treat it with love, care, and respect. And above all, remember that no matter your age, you are always capable of growth, always capable of transformation. Before we end, I want to thank you for your time, your attention, and your open heart. It has been a privilege to walk alongside you, even if only for a moment, on this path towards self-care and peace. May your journey be filled with wisdom, compassion, and an unwavering sense of inner peace. Remember, life is a precious gift. Care for it, nurture it, and above all, live it fully.